What is up, everybody? This is Incredible Average Joe bringing you another Madden 20 video. So today I thought I would go over a basic tutorial on how to attack the basic zone coverages in the game. That's cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. There are other coverages like cover 6, cover 9, things like that. We're going to go over the basics today. If y'all enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like down below. I can go into more detail on these coverages in particular, how to attack them, or some of the other ones as well, give you some good tips. I'm going to get into this quick, but before we do, if you're new to the channel and you're not already subscribed, make sure you do that. Hit that bell icon below so you can know as soon as my videos come out. Also, I just recently created a Discord for my community. If you're interested in joining that, getting tips and tricks for stuff like this, which abilities to use on your players, what people think of your lineup, or just talking generally about Madden, that link will be down below. We got a good little group of guys in there. They're always on there chatting about Madden, so join that. We'd love to have you. So first and foremost, I'm going to start on defense here with the Patriots. I just want to kind of show y'all what the coverages look like. We're just going to do a basic cover 2 hard flat. We'll just put the I don't really care about the offense, so we'll put them in whatever. So if you didn't know with coverages, so cover 2, 3, and 4. The 2 and the 3 and the 4 signify how many people are covering the deep third of the field. As you can see here, we have these 2 safeties who are covering the deep third of the field. So that is the 2, and cover 3 you have 3, and 4 you have 4. So in a basic offense, you have 4 people on the defensive line, right? So then that means 2 people in the deep coverage. That gives you 5 people to cover that short mid-range of the field. As you can see here, our 2 cornerbacks and our 3 linebackers are all covering the short to mid-range of the field. So cover 2 is really good for run defense and short passing on defense. So if you're ever in like a 3rd and 3 situation, something like that, that's when you want to run cover 2. So looking at the play art here, you can see where the weaknesses are. You have the 2 safeties that are just covering the deep third. That's a lot of field for 2 guys to cover. So in cover 2, you want to attack the deep part of the field, or as you can see, the cornerbacks on the outside, they got a lot of green around them. That is a lot to cover as 2. So I'm going to show you how to attack those 2 locations in cover 2. Let me get on offense. Okay, so here we are on offense. We're going to go to a deep pass concept. We're going to go down here to switch. So it doesn't have to be this play in particular. This is just the one I'm showing you. Just this general concept that we're going to attack the deep middle or deep third of the field. This Jet 6 drive wheel is what I'm going to run with right now. And on defense here, I'm just going to put them in a simple cover 2 hard flat. Doesn't really matter whether the quarterbacks are in flat or cloud for this because we're not attacking that part of the field. So again, you can recognize they're in cover 2 because you have the 2 guys deep. And then you have the 5 guys short. Now, the trick is to really, they can disguise it and have the 5 people all, shorter and then sprint back really quick in cover 3 or 4. But you can tell at the start of the snap of the play, those guys aren't going anywhere. They're all staying short. But as you can see, we have Sanu running in and Edelman running out. So Sanu's going to run in, and then he's going to kind of switch to a post almost there in the middle of the field. And you've got Watson, the tight end, there cutting across the middle. So what we're really going to do is those 2 safeties are going to bail out because they have to cover the deep part of the field, and we're gonna throw it right behind the linebackers there because they're going to have to cover this whole middle of the field, but they're not covering quite that deep. So in that little transition area where they're going from a mid route to a deep route, that's when the linebackers, it's no longer their job to cover that. That becomes the safeties. But there's a little window there where you can throw it in and take advantage of that transition. So you'll see what I'm talking about here. The computer's stupid, so watch the right outside linebacker. I'm going to snap it. Hopefully I don't get sacked. And there's Sanu. So basically, he's going to go down and take that tight end every time because the computer's dumb. So as you can see, we'll watch it in slow motion here in a minute, but there he goes. He's going to take the tight end, and Sanu's wide open before the you have to throw it before the safeties come down on him, or you're going to risk throwing a pick. Now against a user, they might try and jump this because like, oh, he's throwing a square every time. They're a human. They're not dumb. Well, most of the time they're not. Sometimes they are. But basically, you've got either square or X to throw to here, and you're going to read that right outside linebacker or middle linebacker, whoever's covering that zone, depending on the variants they're using in cover 2. But okay, I'm going to throw to X here just to show you. The linebacker, I know, is still going to roll with him because he's an AI, but imagine it's a user. You've been throwing to square once or twice, and they're like, okay, I'm going to go try and pick that off and not give you that same play. You've got X coming right underneath as they take that that deeper route. Hopefully I don't get sacked here. And there we go. See, that middle linebacker leaves him, and he still got the pass, but the right outside linebacker was covering him. Here we are in the instant replay. We're going to watch this linebacker because I want y'all to see what we're keen on right here. So he's dropping back. He's covering Sanu, right? And then we got the middle linebacker. This is where he transitions. So right there, as soon as he makes this step forward, you have him beat. If you have a wide receiver with any speed at all, there's not many linebackers in the game who can keep up with that. So the tight end's coming across. He did take him a little early, but you've got Sanu wide open. And I could have actually thrown it to him literally right here as soon as he takes that step, and you have him. Now, you got to be careful with a human. They might be baiting you a little bit, take a step forward, and then bail back really quick. But just give yourself that extra 2 steps. Right at this point, nobody's catching you. I don't care who it is. I don't care what user you're playing. They're not catching you once you've got 2 or 3 yards on them with a receiver and their user and a linebacker. So that's how you attack that. Let's go see how you attack the quarterbacks. So again, we're in the offensive concepts. I'm going to go to a smash concept. And again, it doesn't really matter which one you run. I'm going to run bench. It's just the general concept that we want to see. So there are 2 different kinds of cover 2 that the corners will run. And we're going to do the hard flat first. And I'll show you how to do this one versus the cloud. So hard flat basically just means the cornerbacks are going to play the shallow route. So we've got 2 routes. We've got Lacoste and Sanu. I don't know how to say Lacoste's name, whatever. Lacoste and Sanu running this route. The hard flat means that cornerback, so we basically got double team right there on the cornerback while other people are coming across to help. So watch what he does in the hard flat here. He's going to come down on triangle, which leaves Sanu wide open. The safeties are covering that deep third. They're not going to get there in time. The linebacker's too slow. They're not going to get there in time. So basically, when they're doing that hard flat, you got square open every time. Let's see if we can run with them. There we go. Okay, so really quick, I just want to show the difference in when they're playing a cloud coverage in cover 2. So the corner now is playing cloud, which means they'll be a little bit deeper. He's going to cover that square instead, but that's going to leave triangle wide open for me to go and make a play. So it's not as many yards, of course, but you don't want to try and force that in here. Let's see what happens if I try to make it to Sanu here. He's got a little bit of room there and incomplete. Could have easily been picked off. You basically have 2 guys draped on you. You don't want to do that. Take your yards, take the easy yards, take triangle. That's a good, 8-10 yards if you have a better tight end. So definitely take the yards when you can there. Let's get into cover 3. All right, so cover 3, there are, again, just like cover 2, there are different variations of it. We're just going to go over the basics right now. I don't care what the offense runs. All right, so again, looking at, we've got 3 guys now in the deep thirds. We have both of the cornerbacks. We have 1 safety back there, and then 3 linebackers. One of our DBs is playing linebacker, Patrick Chung there. Okay, so cover 3. So we have the 3 guys playing the deep third, 4 guys on the D line. That leaves 4 to cover the mid. So the mid of the field is a little bit more exposed in cover 3 than in cover 2. The deep third of the field is covered a little bit better. Now, where is it uncovered? There's not really a whole lot of clear space. So you have the seam routes there in the deep thirds where the safeties and the linebackers can't really cover that area. That's, again, one of those transition areas that you want to attack. And then, so this isn't really an uncovered area, but you see the purple, the curl flats that are being covered. So curl flat means that whoever's covering that, they cover the curl, which is just outside of the seam, and they cover down to the flat. So they cover that area and they work down. It's basically like giving that area up first, cover this, make sure it's good, go down to there. So seam flat, curl flat, there's different coverages like that. But as you can see, the right outside linebacker, who looks like he's blitzing, he's actually dropping back a little bit here. And that is going to be another area that we can attack. Let me show you 2 ways to do that. Okay, so back in the offensive concepts, basically the play I'm going to go with right now is bench. I'm going to attack the sidelines. Let me go on defense here. Cover 3, we'll just do a cover 3 sky. The reason I'm going to attack this here is, so they've got the cornerbacks on them right, but those are going to be deep third guys in cover 3. And the guys that are actually covering that area, the curl flat or whatever it may be, they're going to be able to get out there in time. So let's see when we run the play here to Sanu. The guy's bailing. As he bails, Sanu's wide open. The cornerback is going to bail to try and get back to cover his area. And the linebacker is going to be sprinting his butt out there to try and cover, but he's not fast enough. So watch him go, curl to flat. You can actually see him cover the curl to the flat. He kind of backpedals a little bit, goes and covers the curl area, and then he sprints out to the flat when it's time to cover that. Let's see it. Here we go. Sanu, wide open every single time. Cover 3. So again, when you're going against an actual user, they're going to be a little bit smarter, but this is just the general concept of how to attack it. You need to disguise it. You can't run this play 100 times in a row. It's not going to work. They're just going to put someone over there and pick it, obviously. But one last time here, you can see the corner bailing. Hit it right at that time. No one's catching him. Easy, easy catch. Okay, so the other one I said we can attack is the seam route. I'm going to demonstrate that here with this tight end attack. I just flipped it because I like it that way. We'll do cover 3 again, cover 3 sky. Okay, so again, we're going to attack the seams here. We're going to hit Lacoste as he comes across the seam. You could also hit Watson on the other side. I think I'm going to get sacked before that happens. As you can see, the linebacker does the same thing he did in that cover 2. He's not going to drop back any further because that's not his zone. That's not what he's covering. All right, let's see if we can get another one here. I keep getting sacked by this dude. Right there. Again, it's all about timing. You have a very small window there where no one's covering him. The linebacker is throttling down and covering down his zone. I can't believe Brady got that off. So that's when you want to throw it. Something in the seam. It doesn't have to be this tight end attack. Something similar. Let's go watch it in instant replay again. So as you can see, a lot of this is just taking advantage of mismatches. So here he is covering, throttles down because he's taking his zone, and it's wide open. There's no one covering this whole area of the field, so it's wide open. If you have anything like that running in that area, it's going to be open. It's just you have to throw it at the right time. You throw it right here. You don't wait till he's right here, because then it's going to be picked off or incomplete or whatever. You need to throw it right here as soon as you see that linebacker throttled down and he's already beat. Different concepts work. That's just the one I'm demonstrating right now. All right, so I'm back on defense. This is going to be the last one that we cover here. Cover 4. So cover 4, like I said with the other ones, obviously it's four people in the deep zone. So you can see here, this is a very good deep pass defense. This is what you want to do when they're 3rd and 15 or something like that. You think they're going to throw deep. They're all in that deep third. You have it very well covered. So you've got the 4 people in the deep thirds covering that. And then traditionally you have 4 people on the defensive line. And if you're running quarters, you might have just 3. As you can see here, we've got 2 dropping back. But that's only leaves you with 4 short and then only 3 on the defensive line to get pressure. So where is it good to attack here? So in cover 4, the middle of the field is where it's weak, because most of your good DBs are bailing out at that point. So that is where you're going to want to attack. You again pick on the linebackers when you're passing. Don't try to pick on the DBs, because usually the DBs are good enough to cover a little bit. Linebackers are slow. I know, I played linebacker in high school. We're slow. We're not real good at pass coverage. We just want to go hit people. Now, some of them are, but generally speaking, linebackers are not as good as DBs at coverage. So you're going to want to attack that part of the field in a passing offense. So let me get on to the offense here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we are back in the offensive concepts. I'm going to go with levels here. Basically, what I'm trying to do here is overload the middle of the field where the linebackers are, so they again have to make choices trying to find that mismatch in there. Let's go put them in cover 4. Now cover 4 is actually really easy to pass on, as long as you're not trying to go deep. If you're trying to go deep, then it can be kind of difficult. So as you can see with this formation, we've actually got a lot of people running in the middle. We've got Dorsett, Edelman, and Sanu. And they don't have a lot of people covering that middle. They've got 4 people, and again, as you can recognize, you've got the 4 deep guys. It's pretty easy to recognize cover 4 unless they're disguising it in some way. So let's see where it runs. I think I got this guy in motion. Yeah, there he goes. Okay, so Edelman, right there. Wide open. You have 2 guys to pick through. Edelman and Sanu both crossing in the middle of the field. The linebacker here is going to take this underneath crap, which is Dorsett, and then it looks so. Edelman's just running straight. He's not going to cover him yet. Show it again as he does his motion. Snap it. He's covering the short stuff. You see that linebacker that was on Edelman, it's going down to the flat now because he has to take that guy out of the backfield. But that leaves Edelman wide open. So this is actually a really good offensive attack here. Let's throw it to Sanu if we can. Let's see what happens over there. See? The other linebacker had to go down to the flat. The safeties were backing up to go cover their deep quarters, and he was able to get wide open, no one covering them. One more time. Let's see who's open. Probably both of them. I could throw to either or right now. Yep. Triangle and circle, both open. Very easy to attack cover 4 in that manner. Okay, so that's basically going to do it for cover 4. You really just want to overload that middle of the field where the couple of guys are covering, and then just attack. So again, triangle, wide open. Very simple, very easy. You can do different plays where they all run in. There's flood, there's drive, things like that you can run. But cover 4 is actually a very easy one to attack. So that is my breakdown of cover 2, 3, and 4. If y'all like that video, make sure you comment down below and like so that I know. I'll go ahead and make some more if you would like. I can go more in depth on those or do some more coverages. Just whatever would help you guys out. So of course I forgot to record this during the actual video, so I'm recording that after. Shout out to the following people for their support in my previous video. Mike at Don't Play Parlays, TM at Young K Dub, Jay Adams at Trippy Duck Songs. I actually forgot to shout them out in the previous video. So they are from the previous video, along with Nick Takes W's here on YouTube. Shout out for the previous video to Bobby Michaels at BigBob13227 on Twitter, RobFatherTime at RobertM208-37160, and John License at John724-15177. Y'all have a lot of numbers in your names. Thanks a lot, guys, again for the support. Again, if you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that down below. Also, join the Discord app. That link will be in the description below. Let me know if this helped you out in Weekend League and all that, if you find a good way to attack some of these coverages a little bit better. If you were having trouble recognizing them before, now you know a little bit more just about them, just the basics. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. I will see you in the next one, and remember, stay average.